Thank you, Kaylee. Welcome back. Final carrier update. Time to start looking at rates. Donnie, show me the money.
All right, so we're gonna look at Cape Girardeau today. Now, I got excited. I saw those high rejection rates also in Green Bay. Green Bay is a market that I've always been highly interested in. So I actually went in through Green Bay to Cape Girardeau at first. Running spot market rates, you're averaging $2.41 a mile right now, up to 276 between 218 and 276 is the range, and that's up just about 1.2% over last week. So if you get down there at 241, but you might be coming back at 239. Now, we've looked and looked, and we've been trying to find rates that are 250 and over. They're hard to find unless it's just really short runs that are pushing those $3 a mile plus. This for 568 miles, this could be a pretty good run for an owner-operator if he can find the freight that goes between those two markets and keep it right now, about $2.40 average. It might be able to push that to about $2.50 as well. So keep that one in mind. But moving on down here, you're running a truck from Indianapolis, you're running over to Cape Girardeau, you can pull that truck back at $2.93 a mile. A little bit higher, but the mileage is 305 miles, and that would be why. This could be a run that's if a good driver that knows how to make good time could swing there and back on this one, maybe there and most of the way back. 610 miles would be a little bit tough, but if he's running at the right times, not hitting traffic, he could very well do it.
I think the mileage bands kind of are the biggest story as well, because we're looking at these rates, but I really like that Cape Girardeau, Green Bay back and forth, but 565, 568, during the break you had a great comment, which is also depends on your driver. If you get like an owner-operator, you know their characteristics, they don't have as big of a governor, they can go faster. This may be a pretty nice little back and forth, for two one-ways paired up. But for a large fleet, trailer pools, maybe a less experienced driver base, you may not be able to get a turn each day like what you really need to make that profitability.
Yeah, and the problem is your dispatcher might be setting it for delivery that evening, and every time the driver's filling it because he's running out of hours, 60 miles out. And that could be a problem. And then it could get you in a lot of trouble. And then you start saying, well, now we need to make it pick up in the morning and deliver the next morning around 11 or 12, and that could really upset them. You could lose it. Let's step down here, Cape Girardeau to Harrisburg, PA, 822 miles, $2.68. That's a pretty good rate for 822 miles, but what's going to get you is that mileage coming back out of Harrisburg, PA, typically going into the Midwest, it's very, very low, $1.25, $1.30. So that could be a good lane if you maybe found some contract freight coming out of Harrisburg. Charlotte, North Carolina, $2.59. Atlanta, Georgia, I like this one, $4.48. $3.07 a mile. Kansas City, $3.21 at $3.51, and Chicago at $2.56. Those are some good lanes, I feel. But let's go to the next chart here and look at some of these backhauls as well. If you're in Indianapolis and you're headed back out to Cape Girardeau, $2.81. That's a pretty strong rate for headed back to Cape Girardeau. It's only 304 miles, so I think we're at $2.93 one way. So you're still close to $3 a mile. Next one here real fast. Atlanta going back, $2.50. So you're going to average, if you're a little bit over $3 a mile, you're averaging about $2.75 on this Atlanta run, and it's a good 450-mile run. It's not a very stressful run either. You're not going through a lot of big cities. So I like this. Probably one of my favorite ones might be this Atlanta to Cape Girardeau and back.
We'll keep an eye out on that, Donnie. Thank you so much. That's a wrap, though, for this carrier update. We're going to toss it back over to Kaylee to finish out the show.